Hello my dear students, good afternoon. Today we will discuss about chemical properties of alcohols. So previously we discussed about acidic character of alcohols. So alcohols are less acidic or more acidic we discussed. Alcohols are very much less acidic than water actually. So what is the reason? Alkyl group attached to alcohols. Okay. So here we have like this ROH. So this hydrogen if removed in the form of H plus, then it has acidic character. That's what we call as Bronsted acid. So to remove this hydrogen as H plus, this group should be electron withdrawing because this bond must move towards oxygen actually. So this R group must be electron withdrawing group. So what the group present here must be electron withdrawing, but this alkyl group is electron donating group actually. Certainly this bond cannot come towards oxygen easily. Get it? So if electron withdrawing group attached here, then this bond can come towards oxygen so that H plus can remove. So what I told, alcohols are less acidic even than water, like this water. What is the difference between water and alcohol? Here you have OH, here you have OH. But here you have alkyl group, here you have hydrogen. So hydrogen is not electron donating group. Of course, it is not electron withdrawing also. That's why water we called is completely neutral. But and its Kw value is 10 power minus 14 we call it. Correct? And here the Ka value, acid dissociation constant, it is 10 power minus 16, 2 and 10 power minus 18 actually. So it's more actually now. 10 power minus 14 is more or not, tell me. So water is somewhat more acidic when comparative to alcohols because alcohols have alkyl group which is electron donating group. So what I am telling you here, alcohols are less acidic than water. So one more thing I was given, if electron withdrawing groups increases on alkyl group, on what group? Alkyl group, then acidic character increases. This I was given. Correct, sir? So acidic character, to understand, when acidic character is more, I was given already. So if electron withdrawing groups increases, acidic character increases. And one more thing I was given, Ka value is more, pKa value is less, then acidic character is more. Okay? Why I am recollecting all these things? We had a small gap, that's why I am recollecting all these things. So if electron withdrawing groups increases, then acidic character what happens? Increases. Okay? So Ka value increases, pKa value decreases, acidic character increases. This is very important. So why I given in terms of Ka? They'll give like this: CCl3OH, okay, and CHCl2OH, and CH2ClOH, and CH3OH. What is the difference between these four? See here, three hydrogens you have. So CH3OH, but here CCl3OH. Chlorine is electron affinity group. That means electron withdrawing group. Certainly, three chlorines means more withdrawing nature. So this is more acidic. So who is having more Ka value means this. Who is having more pKa value means this. Understanding? pKa is more for this. pKa is less for this. pKa is less, and here pKa is more. pKa is more and Ka value is less. Here what? pKa value is less and Ka value is more. If I said anything wrong, please take it properly. This CCl3OH has less pKa because three chlorines are there and it is more acidic. More acidic means less pKa value. You know the pH values, less than 7 are acids, greater than 7 are bases, exactly 7 neutral. Okay, so here pKa value is less for CCl3OH, Ka value is more. Got it? For CH3OH, Ka value is less and pKa value is more. Pakka, no confusion. Why this is more acidic? CCl3OH is more acidic. Why? What is the reason? Because here 3 chlorines you have. Correct, sir? And one more thing I told you, I think if the carbons having this OH and one more here C here OH and C and OH, and here chlorine attached at first carbon, chlorine attached at second carbon, chlorine attached at third carbon. So of course chlorine is electron withdrawing. You know that chlorine is what group? It is minus I group because of its more electronegativity and more electronic affinity. Certainly among these three, actually molecular formula is same, but position of chlorine is different. And here for the first position and second and third and fourth. And here 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Here 1, 2, 3 and 4. So what's the difference here? Chlorine at first carbon and here chlorine at second carbon and here chlorine at third carbon from OH. So if you see OH attached to the carbon, this is called substrate carbon. This substrate carbon directly has electron withdrawing. So this is more acidic than this. And this is more acidic than this. Why? Electron withdrawing group distance increasing. So withdrawing nature is less here. Withdrawing nature is more in this case because your chlorine directly attached to this first carbon itself. Certainly this bond can come towards carbon and certainly this OH bond is there, no, this OH bond. This bond can migrate towards oxygen. Certainly these bonded electrons when coming towards oxygen and hydrogen has positive charge and hydrogen will remove as H+. So this is the most important thing for us. So what I told you here, if the electron withdrawing group distance increasing, then acidic character decreases. Okay, so here chlorine is far away from OH. Certainly this is, this compound has less acidic character and this is having more. Got it, sir, clearly? So it's very clear. Alcohols are less acidic than water and alcohols has alkyl groups. Alkyl groups are electron donating groups. So therefore acidic character is less. If electron withdrawing groups attached at or alkyl groups attached on alkyl group, then acidic character increases. Okay, sir. So alkyl groups if have more electron withdrawing groups, more will be the acidic character. More the acidic character, less will be the pKa and more will be the Ka value. So you must know all those things. Okay, next we will discuss about dehydration. Dehydration of alcohols. Okay, so this is very important. I'll give you very clearly here. So alcohols, any alcohol you take, alcohol on dehydration means concentrated H2SO4, concentrated sulfuric acid at 110 degrees Celsius. They may ask in Kelvin also, temperature is very important. So if they given what temperature is required to get ethyl hydrogen sulfate means 110, or if they ask in Kelvin 110 plus 273. Understanding? 110 plus 273. So 383 Kelvin is required. Okay, so then what is the product? You know, ethyl hydrogen sulfate is the product. Very important. Slowly you learn, no problem. Alcohol, same, concentrated H2SO4 at 140 degrees Celsius. I'm giving in degrees Celsius, but you can convert them into Kelvin, no problem. So alcohol convert into ether. Same. What I am doing here, alcohol I am taking. Here also I am taking alcohol, and here the reagent, dehydration agent I am taking concentrated H2SO4. But temperature is different. Here in case of the first one 110 degrees Celsius and second one 140 degrees Celsius, then ether is the product. Same alcohol, same concentrated H2SO4, then ethylene or alkene is the product. In general we have right now. So alkene is the product, alkene. Okay, everywhere the byproduct is water, H2O, so H2O and H2O, because what we call this dehydration. Dehydration means what? Removal of water. Got it, sir? And one more thing here, only I'll tell you one more reason. One more thing I forgot here. Instead of H2SO4 you can use H3PO4 also, concentrated phosphoric acid. So afterwards you may ask, sir, H3PO4 given, what happens like that? See, even instead of H2SO4, if they given H3PO4, then same product you will have. Got it, sir, clearly? So this is very, very important for us. Okay, so alcohol when treated with Al2O3, same story, but Al2O3 at 240 to 250 degrees Celsius, then ether is the product. Remember, same alcohol, but Al2O3 given alumina, we call it aluminum trioxide or alumina simply. At 240 to 250 degrees Celsius, ether, ethyl hydrogen sulfate, not forming here because here there is no sulfate here. So these two only happens in case of Al2O3. Okay, same story, alcohol, if I am using this Al2O3 at 380 degrees Celsius, then you will get what alkene. So this is also very important. These two also very important for us. So dehydration of alcohols, see what happens. Alcohols converted to ethyl hydrogen sulfate at 110. Alcohols, okay, when treated with concentrated H2SO4 at 140 ether. Concentrated H2SO4 converted to alkene. Here I forgot to give you the temperature, 170 degrees Celsius. Got it? So 1, 2 and 3. These three reactions are very important. However, these two also very important. These temperatures are very important for us. 110, 140, 170. Now I will give you reactions one by one. Suppose ethyl alcohol treated with concentrated sulfuric acid. What I said now? Ethyl alcohol. Suppose CH3. Okay. CH3 CH2OH when treated with concentrated H2SO4. If I am using 110 degrees Celsius, then this will react. What will react? OH and S double bond O, OH. So this is what kind of bond cleavage do you know? They will ask you. This is CO bond cleavage. That means this carbon and oxygen bond will break. So this dehydration comes under CO bond cleavage. Very, very important. In previous I was given reaction with sodium hydroxide and reaction with Grignard reagent. They are OH bond cleavage. Just in previous class, please revise those. Okay, so here this CO bond cleavage, what happens here? OH from here and H from here will go. Means H2SO4 why we use means for protonation. What is the purpose? Protonation. So then what happens, do you know, at 110 the product is CH3CH2O here SO3H. That means your product is CH3 and CH2 and O SO3H. I am writing very clearly like this. Ethyl hydrogen sulfate. What is the name? Ethyl hydrogen sulfate actually. OSO3H you can write directly. Okay. This at 140 degrees Celsius. What is the purpose? Protonation. This is H2SO4 used as protonating agent. Protonating agent. That is another name, dehydrating agent. Dehydrating agent. Okay. If I use 140 degrees Celsius, then 2 moles I have to take. CH3CH2OH and plus OH CH2 CH3 I have to take. If I am using concentrated H2SO4 at 140 degrees Celsius, now H2SO4 won't react. First it will initiate by donating proton. Then what happens? And OH and H will remove now. H2O will go. Now what happens? The product is, you can see now, what is the product? CH3CH2, O, CH2CH3, R, O, R. That means ether or not product. That means CH3, CH2, O, CH2, CH3 is the product. What is this? Ether. Diethyl ether. Here why we use then H2SO4 means, yes, for protonation only I used. H2SO4, H plus will donate. Then this will come over here, OH will go. If you want mechanism, I will show you here what happens. CH3, CH2, OH. First, H2SO4 will donate proton as H plus. This H plus donated by whom? Sulfuric acid. Now what happens? This lone pair is there now. So this lone pair, on lone pair means dative bond will form. Means actually arrow mark I have to show like this. This lone pair donated to H plus, like forming dative bond, very important. Now you will get, what you will get? CH3 and CH2 and OH2 and here positive charge. CH3, CH2, OH2 plus. Got it? This is step 1 actually. Now what happened? For this, another alcohol is there, no? That will attack by removing water molecule. Why it is OH2 plus understood? It was donated lone pair. Who was donated? This OH. Means this oxygen donated lone pair to this H plus. So this is step 1 mechanism actually. And you have step 2. What is the step 2? This CH3, CH2, OH2 plus. For this, OH will attack. OH, CH2, CH3. Can you guess what happens here? Again this has lone pair, no? This lone pair is donated to this carbon, water will remove. So minus H2O. Why minus H2 understood? This lone pair. Oxygen has lone pair. Do you know that? Water, if you see, water, H and H, it has lone pair like this. 2 lone pairs, water. Hybridization you check once. You know, oxygen has 2 lone pairs. Hybridization is sp3. Like that, this alcohol also has 2 bonds means 2 lone pairs. Remember, oxygen has 8 electrons. Do you remember? 2 bonds. Understanding what I am saying? CH3OH or C2H5, whatever. Oxygen has 2 bonds, means 4 electrons. But oxygen total electrons how many? 8. Octet now. So here like this. 2 pairs. So one of the pair is donating to this carbon. This lone pair is donating to this carbon. Why donating to this carbon? If this water going, so these bonded electrons must move towards oxygen. Carbon gets positive. Certainly that positive charge nullified by donating this lone pair. This positive charge should cancel on this, right? So lone pair donated to this carbon. Certainly you have this CH3 and CH2 and OH plus and CH2 CH3. Water removed. What was removed? Water removed from this. So OH, this oxygen donated lone pair. So that's why oxygen got positive charge again. Do you know what will happen in last step? From this, deprotonation. So removal of proton happens from this. Understood clearly? So what happens next? Deprotonation from this. So first protonation, attacking of another alcohol, and deprotonation. So deprotonation, what happens? I'll write. So hope you understood these 2 steps. So one more step happens here. One more step. What is the third step? I'll tell you here. Okay. So ethyl hydrogen sulfate will form at what temperature? Will form at 110 degrees Celsius. At 140 ether. So now this is the third step. Step 3. What is step 3? Deprotonation. Deprotonation is the third step. CH3, CH2O, CH2, CH3, and here H and here positive charge. Very simple. Deprotonation means removal of this proton by donating this bond again back to oxygen. Certainly your final product is CH3 and CH2O, CH2, CH3. This is the final. But it's a ether was formed. So what is the first step? Protonation. What is the second step? Attacking of another alcohol by removing water molecule. Third step, deprotonation. Okay, write down this also. Okay, next. Same ethanol I am taking. CH3, CH2, OH. I am taking concentrated sulfuric acid. Now I am using 170 degrees Celsius. Now what happens? Same story, alkene is the product. CH2 double bond CH2 plus H2O. CH3 CH2OH. So what happens? Removal of OH and beta hydrogen, because this is alpha carbon and this is beta carbon. So from alpha carbon OH removed, from beta carbon hydrogen removed. That I told you, Saint-Jaffe rule. Do you remember? Removal of hydrogen always takes place from the beta carbon, which have less number of hydrogens. That happens. Got it clearly? So here beta elimination happens. So alkene is the product. What is this? Alkene. Ethylene is the product. Same story here also. 3 steps mechanism takes place. Step 1. Mechanisms I am telling. So maybe you feel dehydration only. Are you telling sir today means yes? But I am giving mechanism very clearly everywhere. So what is the step 1 is protonation is the step 1. What is step 1? Protonation. Means donation of proton. Who is donating proton? H2SO4. Acid no? Acid donate proton. To whom? This alcohol. So CH3, CH2, OH and adding H plus. So this is called protonation actually. What happens? I told you already. Oxygen has lone pair. That lone pair donated to H plus. So between oxygen and this H plus, dative bond. Remember. Okay. Still there is no change in hybridization, but lone pairs will change. Remember? Okay. Now the product is CH3 and CH2, O, H and H plus. Means one of the lone pair donated to H plus. So on oxygen positive charge. Protonation over. OH2 plus I can write otherwise. Now step 2. Step 2. Okay. Formation of carbocation. So CH3, CH2. Okay. Now CH3, CH2 and OH2 plus means H and positive charge. So removal of water minus H2. So along with these bonded electrons, oxygen will go. Why this arrow towards oxygen I written understood? Oxygen positive charge. So this bond cannot move towards this side. Got it clearly? Because this oxygen already positive. So this oxygen requires electron. Certainly this bond will break. See, on oxygen 3 bonds always less stable. That's why removal of water is easy here. Oxygen can form maximum 3 bonds but not stable. Oxygen with 2 bonds is stable. That's why once this protonation happens, this CO bond will become weak. Certainly this bond can easily break this bond. Getting what I am saying? So this bond will break by losing water. Now that means this reaction comes under CO bond cleavage, because CO bond is breaking. Now you are having CH3 and CH2 plus and plus H2. Now step 3. Step 3 is deprotonation. Deprotonation is always done from the beta hydrogen, from the beta carbon. So this is beta. So from beta carbon, deprotonation takes place. That means removal of proton happens. So now what happens here means CH3 and CH2 positive charge, and from this beta carbon, one of the hydrogen will remove. Certainly you are having CH2 double bond, CH2 plus H plus. Got it? So this will be like this, CH2 and H. So this bond is coming over here. So H plus is removed. So H plus removed and you have CH2 double bond, CH2. That's it. So this is about our dehydration of alcohols and mechanism. Hope you understood and have to write all these things. Okay. So have a screenshot and write on. This is deprotonation, last step. This is step 2. This is step 3. Okay, sir. Next, you have one more example. Okay, dehydration. During that, beta hydrogen removal takes place. That beta hydrogen should be removed from the beta carbon which have less number of hydrogens. Suppose I am taking this example, sir. So here I have OH. Okay. So here I have here I have some methyl. I have no need to write methyl, but if nothing is there means methyl is there here. Okay, this was given and here you have OH. So I was given H2SO4 concentrated and I am using 170 degrees Celsius. Pakka alkene is the product. Concentrated H2SO4 given, 170 given means alkene is the product. I will write two products actually like this. This is one and double bond here and one more same cyclohexane ring but like this. Which one is major? Actually once OH removed, here positive charge and this is beta and this is beta dash. This is beta carbon and this is beta dash carbon. And here means tertiary, because 1, 2, 3 bonds are there. Here only 2 bonds are there. So that means this is secondary. So here 2 hydrogens you have, because 2 bonds are there now, 2 hydrogens. Here 3 bonds already there now, so 1 hydrogen. Getting following everyone? So what is Sedgwick rule? Removal of beta hydrogen from the beta carbon which have less number of hydrogens. So this beta carbon has only 1 hydrogen, this beta dash has 2 hydrogens. So you have to remove hydrogen from the beta carbon which have less number of hydrogens. That means you have to remove hydrogen from this beta carbon. Certainly you have double bond between these two like this. So certainly the first one is major and the second one is minor. So why the first one is major understood? So OH removed, understood the same story. Protonation, OH2 plus, removal of water, positive charge. Now you have 2 beta carbons. So from which beta carbon you have to remove hydrogen? Means from this you have to remove hydrogen. Few more applications I will explain in revision, no problem. But first of all, you have to understand all these things very clearly. First of all, if you have a dehydration means what? And at 170 what happens, at 140 what happens, at 110 what happens. If you know, your work will be very easy. You can do it, all the reactions very simple way. But once you must have all concepts clarity, certainly all applications you only can solve. Okay, so very important for us. Definitely once this alcohols after aldehydes, okay, carbonyl compounds, carboxylic acids, nitro compounds, maximum over. Then afterwards, once offline started, we will revise all these concepts. Certainly at that time, you know the reactions, so we will do some applications. So in front of me itself, you can do some applications then, so that you will have more confidence, you will get more practice. So don't worry, practice more, definitely you can understand all these things. Hope you written, okay? So what we follow in the dehydration? Sadyov rule. Removal of beta hydrogen from the beta carbon which have less number of hydrogens. Suppose CH3, CH2 and CH and OH and CH3 have. And here concentrated H2SO4. I am using 170 degrees Celsius. Now alkene is the product pakka. So OH from here, this is beta and this is beta dash, or this is beta dash, no problem. So from which carbon you have to remove hydrogen, means from this carbon. Why this beta, from this beta carbon you have to remove hydrogen? Because this beta carbon has 2 hydrogens, this beta carbon has 3 hydrogens. We have to remove hydrogen from the beta carbon which have less number of hydrogens. Certainly from here you have to remove hydrogen. I told you, you remember or not, alkenes with more substituents is more stable, I told you. So what is the product here? CH3 and CH, double bond CH, CH3 is one product, and byproduct also I will write. OH from here, H from here. Then product is CH3 and CH2 and CH, double bond CH2. If you see here branching, you have both sides. This is alkyl group, alkyl groups. Alkene with more alkyl groups is more stable. Write down this point. Understood? This alkene is more stable because you have 2 alkyl groups here. And here these are double bonded carbons. If you see, you have one side only alkyl group. This side, this carbon don't have alkyl group. Certainly this is not stable. So remember, always alkene with more alkyl groups is more stable at double bonded carbons. So this is very important. So now next I'll explain ring expansion, how happens. Okay, so next ring expansion. Okay, ring expansion reactions, how happen? See, actually cyclopropane, cyclobutane, cyclopentane if you have. In these, actually this is what carbon means, sp3 carbon, right? sp3 carbon means 109 degrees 28 minutes must be present, but in cyclopropane it is 60. Here also carbon is sp3. Carbon is sp3 means that bond angle should be 109 degrees 28 minutes, but here 90 degrees you have. Understand? Here same manner, here also very less than 109 degrees 28 minutes. So in these there is an angle strain. What strain you have? Angle strain you have. If you have an angle strain, certainly bonds are very weak. Certainly these bonds can easily break. So if they have some substituents like that, means some alkyl groups attached, so ring expansion takes place. Means in ring, now 3 carbons you have, this can become 4-membered carbon ring. Now this can become 5-membered ring, because now 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is another carbon actually, methyl group you have. So with 5 carbons, ring expansion happens. Expansion means in ring, number of carbons increases. In ring, now 4 carbons you have. Now this carbon also will involve in ring formation. That is called ring expansion. Very simple. Ring expansion means if the substituent carbons are there, they also will involve in ring formation. Suppose here cyclopentane you have, one more methyl is there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is another one, 5th one, sorry 6th one. So now previously it is 5-membered ring. If you have some another carbon, it will involve in ring, means 5-membered carbon will become 6-membered carbon. That is called ring expansion. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like this. This happens, ring expansion. Understood? So how ring expansion takes place? Let's see. Why ring expansion happens? Due to angle strain. So how ring expansion takes place? Let's see. One example I will give. So cyclopentane I am taking, and here you have OH. Actually what we expect if we add concentrated H2SO4, if I given 170 degrees Celsius. So OH from here, H from here, double bond. This actually we expect double bond. Over no sir, because this is the carbon actually. OH removed from here, H removed from here. So H and OH removed, so double bond will form between these two or not? This we expect or not, but not happening. So actually this is CH2 sir, understanding everyone? This one, this is carbon, this is a carbon, carbon attached OH. Clearly I am telling. This is CH2 and hydrogen removed from this. So double bond will form between these two. Okay, this we expect actually. In ring expansion, what happens? Let's see. Okay, so actually we expected something different. Double bond CH2 here when I am taking like this. Correct. So here you have OH. First, what happens when you are using concentrated H2SO4? So first, as usual, protonation happens. So this H plus will add on this. Certainly, what you have here means cyclopentene, and on this you have OH2 plus. So here positive charge. Okay, now sorry. And the positive charge on oxygen. Why positive charge on oxygen? This lone pair donated to H plus. So next, second step, what happens means I'll write continuation here. So this you are having, and OH2 plus means water removed, suppose. Okay, so one more thing can happen easily. What happens? Let's see and listen carefully. So now removal of water happens. Certainly here positive charge you will get or not. So what happens there? Here double bond will come directly? No, double bond won't come. So removal of water here, H from here, double bond here, not coming. So what happens? So here you have a positive charge. But actually here water will remove minus H2O. Certainly here you have a positive charge. Now what happens? Here positive charge means this is primary actually. But here means secondary will come if this bond will break. So here ring expansion takes place. How ring expansion takes place? Let's see now. So here you have like this, and here you have a positive charge. So here if positive charge comes, this will be secondary, because during ring expansion this bond will break. If this bond broken, now this carbon has 1 and 2 carbons. So this will become secondary or not? So here positive charge is more stable or not? So positive charge will try to migrate over this carbon. Understanding? So positive charge to come over here, this bond have to break. So if this bond is breaking, certainly this bonded electrons will migrate over here. So this is a bond actually. So this bond if migrate over here, this carbon gets what charge? Negative charge. So give numbers. This is first carbon, second carbon, third, fourth, fifth and 6 carbons. Now between 1 and 6 there will be a new bond. Understanding? Now positive charge will shift to this second carbon. Why? This bond what you have is migrating towards this carbon. Certainly this carbon gets positive. So as it is, I will write like this. What I get understood? Let's see the numbers 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So between 1 and 6 there is a new bond, and here you have a positive charge. Positive charge on what carbon? Second carbon. Okay, this I can write like this also. Now 1 and this is 6. This is 2, 3 and 4, 5. This and this both are same, and on second carbon you have positive charge. Listen carefully. Understanding? So here I will give 2 more examples. You have no need to confuse. You will get more practice. No problem. So here you have a positive charge on second carbon. This is first, second positive charge, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Now what happens? Removal of beta hydrogen. All are same. Now you can remove beta hydrogen from this or from this. No problem. That means I will write here only. From this you will have removal of proton. Certainly cyclohexene is the product. Ring expanded. 5 membered ring become 6 membered. Ring expansion it is. This is 5 membered or not? And you have a branch like this. Now no branch. That branch includes in ring. Cyclohexene you have finally. Hope you understood. So we will have few more like this. Okay. You have to write one ring expansion. Sorry, you have to write this everyone properly. So what happens in this during dehydration and ring expansion happen? How this ring expansion happen? Please note it down, everyone. And I will give you two more in our WhatsApp group. Okay, directly at that time you have to answer. Okay, sir. Thank you and practice all these things.